Hello class, my name is Kenny and I'm gonna talk about the strategic analysis of IoT in the health industry using the Porter's 5-force analysis. The IoT technology or Internet of Things refers to connect devices to the internet such as sensors and actuators. Sensors are devices that reads the input from the environment and send it to the virtual world. An actuator, you receive the input from the virtual world and send it to the real world. And it's done with the bare minimum to connect and exchange data with other devices and systems. This technology permits the control and monitoring of objects that once could not be done remotely by creating a digital representation of the real world. The IoT includes the smartwatches, smart fridges that knows when your food will expire, self-drive cars, fitness tracking, thermostats, and paper monitors. In the health industry, uh, the Guy's and St. Thomas National Health Services Foundation Trust in the UK have been using IoT since 2016 to read some vitals like heart rate, blood pressure, and oxygen level, and send it to the doctor to be analyzed. And in case some abnormality is found, the patient is contacted. And these have been done with the use of cell phones. Actually, Apple Watch have a built-in electrocardiogram that can identify a heart attack and contact the emergency or emergency contact, and that have already saved many lives. It also have a fall detector that is helpful especially for elderly, that if it detects a fall, it will ask the user to press a button for a minute, and if they don't do it, they will contact the emergency as well. There is also an IoT-based glucose monitoring that is recently introduced that can read the glucose level and deliver the appropriate amount of insulin without paying for the patient. The competitive advantage of IoT in the health industry. Uh, the rivalry in the analyzed market, there is an intense rivalry, what could drive down prices and damage profitability. In this market, the clients are kept by high costs to switch companies, and this company could use IoT to create a differential to attract new clients and fidelize the actual clients. IoT could be used to reduce costs of process like blood pressure or any other basic readings instead of be done by a nurse, for example. It could be used to attract customers at scale and reduce the power of rivals. The threat of new entry. New entrants offer a very small threat in this highly regulated market, and the size of well-established concurrents together with the high cost for switch the provider makes it harder for smaller competitors to establish in the market. And with the use of IoT, the company could innovate its products and services to bring new customers and give a reason to old customers to stay. They could create an economy in scale to reduce the individual costs. They could invest in research and development to dictate standards in the market and reduce space for new entrants to innovate and have a good profit. The supplier power. Suppliers tend to have a very high power because some supplies are only provided for a few companies, what could affect the profitability because they could dictate the price and their terms. With the use of IoT, they could build a more efficient and diverse supply chain. They could find IoT substitutes for some devices used in the company to reduce the power of bargaining of established suppliers. And they could develop business with suppliers that the business depend upon the company, so they would accept the company's terms. The threat of substitution. By being a regulated environment and dealing with delicate subjects like human life, the threat of substitution is very low. Even though people rely on homemade treatments for small injuries and personal devices for monitoring some conditions, those are just a fraction of services provided by the company. With the use of IoT, the company could understand the needs of customers to drive the business in the right direction. Um, they could start offering possible substitutes as part of the service with the use of IoT. And they could provide IoT as a service for some clients to reduce the risk of substitution. And the buyer's power. The buyer's power is very low because of the number of clients each company has, and it tends to increase as more people become aware of health importance and as the cost to switch companies is very high. They could use IoT to attract and build a large base of customers to keep its power low. They could keep innovating and offering new products and services to limit the power of bargaining of customers. And with new products and services offered, clients are less likely to switch to the concurrency. The impact of IoT on society. The technological development impacts society directly or indirectly. Technologies like biometric, smartphones, and health tracking are very common nowadays. And the data collected can be used to create meaningful information that can be used to reduce waste, reduce costs, and inconveniences that can result in a better quality of life. The health IoT can provide us with real-time data about our condition, uh, monitor chronic diseases, and prevent future problems that could cost our lives. Security and privacy is one of the main concerns among people considering using IoT for medical purposes. As it is connected to the internet, there is a high risk of it to be breached or hacked. And the leak of sensitive information like health condition, location, and any other personal information could have serious consequences. And IoT devices are usually small and with limited power, what makes it harder to put cryptography in place. And the cost of IoT solutions are still quite high for some people, and it could make it available only for those who can afford rather than for those who need the most. As the use of health IoT increases, the amount of data available could be used to create models of prediction to identify and prevent possible diseases years before it even appears. This could be achieved by investing in research and development of better and wider variety of devices used to create a large centralized database with anonymous information that could be analyzed to create those prediction models. And for this to become possible, the industry needs to create a level of maturity where the devices of different manufacturers could talk with each other. Um, Thank you so much for listening.